Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Underground Runaround. I'm your host, Brad Ross, back again with my co-host, Pav Daddy, and we have a special guest for you tonight. Owner, would you consider yourself an operator? Just nod your head. I don't know. Owner, potentially operator of a local card shop down in Orange Park, Florida.
Got it.
Luckiest man, Sportscards. That's Mr. John Garrick, ladies and gentlemen. John, how are you, sir?
Doing good, sir.
Excellent. Pav Daddy, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing real good.
Real good. That's real good, Bob. And
Is this live?
yeah, we're live tonight. We're live tonight, baby. Why not? Saves me a little extra work to upload.
I like it.
John, man. So John, I don't know how long we've known each other. Not a too terrible long amount of time, but it's been a quite a while through the hobby, and just I want to say recently, but dude, how long have you had your store now?
We've been open 6 months now.
Yeah,
So,
and how long did you have it before you opened?
I mean, we hit the ground running. I mean, I applied for the business in February, and
There we go. Okay.
yeah, we got the spot by April, and within 30 days, it was up. It was time to go.
Time to go. But you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? It feels like it was just like yesterday that we were talking about it, though. And here
I
we go.
know.
Six months open. How are things?
Dude, it's insane. I never thought I'd see the business we see. It's a completely different clientele than I thought I'd ever see.
Yeah.
It's not not the breaks, like the stuff that you and I usually rip and stuff like that. It's a lot more like family oriented where we're at, which is super cool. People come in and ask if I have optic football hobby boxes, and then I tell them it's $1,600 and that's why I don't have it. Then they realize it's $1,600 and no longer want it.
Right.
But I do kind of cater more towards that $50 to $400 to $500 box more than the national treasures and flawless.
Really, that should be a lot of. I mean, that's so many products, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is I got a nice sweet spot there on what people
I feel
love.
like without being in like a major city like Chicago, New York, LA, like without being in a place like that, it would be hard to even have high-end wax in a store. Like I wonder if there's a store that like regularly actually sells high-end wax besides like Burbank or like somewhere like that.
Waiting
Like
about it. I don't see it. I mean, we're Jacksonville Metropolitan, so it's big city vibe, and but I have 4 other stores plus like another one that's kind of like got California money. It's Cards and Coffee or something. They're like a shoe store, card store hybrid that just opened too. But it's more like that douchey investor that thinks they're gonna get rich on cards overnight kind of vibe. So their clientele, not my clientele.
yeah, they're all in their feelings right now anyway, the way the singles market's been anyhow.
100%.
You mean we're not guaranteed to make money on?
I know, it's wild.
Cards?
You mean that 400% wasn't
Holy
real?
We've had to kind of temper expectations there too, because you get some of those dudes.
Yeah.
All the whatnot wannabe celebrities. They all came in the first like month, and it was trying to introduce themselves to us and tell me how special they were and how important they are and how many streamers they have and whatnot, and then see if they could buy cases from me for my cost on them, and that way they can get famous. And they're going to open a 70,000 square foot warehouse right down the street from me with all the whatnot money they make. And yeah.
Nice. You got some people doing it big over there in the old
that's
Jacksonville area, huh?
Yeah, but they wait at Walmart at 6 o'clock in the morning so they can buy optic blasters.
Oh, yeah. Those big blaster ripping shitters, huh?
Yes, sir.
The ripping shitters.
We also get the ones that come in there with that think that the mega boxes at my store are different than the ones at Walmart. They're going to somehow get rich on those mega boxes and not the Walmart ones.
Nice. Hey, that's good for you, though, right?
Yeah, it is. Like, I was kind of against it for a while. Like, obviously I'm a hobby shop. I want hobby product, but I'll sell optic or select or prism mega
100%.
blasters all day long there, and no one's going to drop over $1,000 on garbage product
Right.
for their kids, because that's what a lot of it is my little kid wants a Trevor Lawrence card. What's the best chance of hitting a Trevor Lawrence card here? So
Right, but I mean, honestly, that's your job, dude. You know what I mean? Like that's bringing people into the hobby.
yeah, exactly. You
So
gotta be a salesman to a certain point.
you know what I mean? Not you just have to know your shit, and to have like those retail products, those blasters and things like that. It sucks because I know 100% what you're saying in terms of I want to be a hobby shop, I want to have hobby product, but at the same time, like, while it's definitely not the most profitable venture to flip retail at on any scale, no matter where you're getting it, even if you're getting it directly from a distributor, it's nice to be able to like we talked about before the show, potentially, you might make a lifelong customer out of that.
Exactly.
And you're not going to know that for 20 years, but you might, because that kid's gonna grow older and do his life, and then when he settles down into becoming an adult, he's gonna get back into these sports cards, and he's gonna be like, oh yeah, that fucking guy at that store, and you're gonna be an old guy with long gray hair, and he's gonna I mean, he's gonna come back, he's be like, oh, you're that fucking guy with the long hair that and it's like, I used to come here all the time when I was a kid. I got the Trevor Lawrence. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence, he's like Tom Brady, but he's not. Jacksonville.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's hard, man, because like I still kind of want to have a little bit of morals in how I sell stuff there, where if I got to rip you off on it, I'm not going to put it on my shelves.
No, I agree. But it's so fucking hard if you don't.
It is.
And like, I'm not,
when those Prism blasters came out, they were going. I'm not going to name names. I had acquaintances with someone whose shop was selling them $89.99 a piece. It's like, dude, no colors, no autos. These are dog shit. And people are buying those at $90 a piece. And at the time, I picked up a case of them on my slabs from a dude for $55 a piece. I put them in my store at $58 because that covered clover fees. That was it. It was literally just a necessary evil. It's not like, oh man, I'm here to get rich on it. It's like, I'm here to appease you. Yeah. I don't believe in this product. I don't want to charge you $90 for this product because the product sucks. And you're just going to get pissed off at me if you spend $90 to hit a orange reactive Peony Sewell card.
Oh, yeah, baby. I love it. I love
it. Like the key now is making a believer out of them on some of the other products that they've been sleeping on for a long time. That's,
that I agree 100% there. I feel like I do that a lot
right now, dude. Fire.
I'm always yelling at people on what I think's the best, and nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. They don't care. It's got to be new and shiny, and they don't give a damn about what the actual best value is in a product. Hey, Clicky Magoo. What you clicking on down there, Pav?
Porn.
Holy cow.
The Schwarber home run. I guess it's kind of like porn.
Guy's having a click off down there. Just click up.
It was bad. Like sitting breaking ball.
Like
and just fucking absolutely shit on it.
Like a hanger?
Oh, dude. wait till you watch the video, dude.
What's the score of the game right now?
2-0.
2-0 Phillies over the Padres in the NLCS.
Who would have fucking
and the
thought?
Yankees. The Yankees are playing tomorrow. So
yeah, I would actually like to see a Yankees-Phillies World Series.
Oh yeah, I'm the exact opposite of that.
I know.
Both teams flip them.
I give a fuck about the Phillies. I grew up in the Poconos.
Sure.
I just want to see the Yankees shit on the Phillies.
So. I would want to see the Yankees just because I despise Dusty Baker so much.
Oh yeah, man, I love Dusty. I fucking love him. I love the guy. Why not? He's still toothpicking it up. I mean, Jesus. He even wears gloves now like he's Michael Jackson. I love it.
So someone actually gave me a THC infused toothpick.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think Dusty Baker's just chilling?
I'm just saying.
My man.
Who's inspecting the toothpicks?
Look at that vibe now. He looks like a melted Easter bunny just sitting there with his toothpick now. Maybe he is a trashed.
Fucking snacking on sunflower seeds. Just fuck can't help himself. Oh my
God, they
gosh, that'd
show
be
my
great.
camera. It's like, does it look like Dusty Baker has the munchies? He's standing on the top step of the dugout with a bag of flaming hot Cheetos in his hand.
Oh, just somebody comes out of the fucking bullpen with the bag of Cheetos. That's my manager.
shit.
You know, that's my skipper. Fucking lets them have it. Oh, that'd be fantastic. That'd be a story to come out later.
He's letting the bat boy hit.
We gotta get Dusty on the show. How do we make that happen? Dusty, tell us about that toothpick. Is it corked? It's just, you know, you gotta ask him. You gotta figure it out. THC infused toothpick, Pav.
Yep.
Where? How do you find this shit out?
Somebody else.
I feel like they'll
Somebody
THC
else.
anything nowadays, though.
Yeah.
Anything. Like they probably got THC toothpaste. You're just brushing your teeth and get fucked.
I am sure that there's a hemp-based toothpaste.
Sure.
Like them hippie fucking people, dude. They'll put hemp in anything, right? But I'm wearing my hemp socks, my hemp pants, my hemp shirt.
I remember having like that fucking hemp lotion in middle school, thinking I was like cool, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking loser.
I'm like all fucked up on this lotion.
Yeah. This lotion's really gonna calm me down.
Oh, if I listen to Dave Matthews.
Oh my gosh. John, man. What else can you tell us about the store life?
Store life?
So like this actually came up, and you may or may not want to answer this in great detail. But like is well, I know you will, but for your own sake. So let me just talk about the subject, and you decide how much information you want to give away. But I was actually talking to my break tonight that you were going to be on the podcast, and I'm like, so if you could ask somebody in a card shop anything, what would you ask? And the first person somebody talked about was like how much money you spend, like not necessarily money, but like how much goes into like securing the location. You know, like how much do you worry about it? Like how much of your time is consumed by worrying about having a place with valuables inside of it?
No. That sounds wild.
You're that none, folks. Look at the confidence.
No, man.
Oozed out of him.
I look at it like this. Like if I had a rookie Michael Jordan, something like that, it's not going to the Kings. I'm not here to get robbed. I mean, if it happens, it happens. We're insured. You know, I got the camera set up to my phone. I got security cameras. You know, I got live monitoring, all that stuff. I got the alarm. It's insured, so for more than enough, where if something happens, they want to take it all. I'm gonna wait for the government, for the insurance to give me a check. But I'm not there to be stupid either. You go into some of the shops and it's like, here's a $20,000 card on the top. Here's another $10,000 card under that, like that. That's not me.
Wild. That's wild.
Like I had a customer come in. Do you have any Michael Jordan rookies? Do you have this? You have this? I'm like, no. And if I did, it'll be locked in my gun safe at home, and I'll bring it in when you need it. So it's kind of. I kind of want to use common sense there because there's enough shitty humans in this world that steal catalytic converters for a living. And,
is that a big issue down there in Jacksonville?
Oh, dude, every day. So it's like you fear the inevitable with shitty people.
Sure.
But you know, you try to just kind of use common sense there and be like, you know what? There's nothing in that store that's not replaceable right now.
That makes a lot of sense.
And,
makes a lot of sense. I think that's a great answer. It's a good question. There were some other questions, but they weren't nearly as good as that one. So none of those.
That was actually one of the things that like I see stores that get ransacked, hurt. You know, whether they get fucked up in a hurricane here or whatever, and then it's just like, oh, they weren't covered. It's just like you got to do your homework.
Yeah, that's silly.
I mean, I could tell you to insure that store is $1,200 a year. We're not talking crazy. So, for $100-something a month that it costs me, if it's total loss, that was a shitty business on your part if you didn't cover it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure places like Burbank and stuff probably are covered for multi-millions, and you know what? It's probably expensive then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
That
that,
Burbank Varus is his name. That guy was in so there's this thing called the eBay Open, which I
mhm.
found out about, and it was like not to change the subject, but I'm changing the subject. So I guess to change the subject. The eBay Open. So I get this like because we have an eBay store now that we're doing consignment, and I get a letter. And it's like invitation to the eBay Open 2022. It's like it's at these three. I think it was at three physical locations. You could have actually like attended this event, and then they had like online where they just had a bunch of little like presentations and shit. So I got multiple monitors down here. So while we're working and doing our thing, we got the eBay Open up, and the very first thing, the opening like panel of the whole thing, they actually had that guy on there, and they had a section on sports cards later in the day, things like that. But like they had that dude on there from Burbank right away talking about his shit. I was actually very, very impressed with everything that dude said, and he seemed like one of the most authentic dudes, like not just trading card related, but like that the eBay people had the whole time, like that did
yeah,
any speaking. And
100% businessman. He's actually like the only one that I look at on Instagram. I was like, holy shit, that dude, he's goals. You know, you look at some of them, it's just like you're a douche.
well,
That guy,
he's that dude, Varus.
Mm.
Ron or Rob or I apologize, I don't remember. But he's the guy who told me. He didn't tell me, but like he didn't tell me directly, but like he told that thing. He was talking about that fucking Fujitsu scanner that I bought.
Mm.
That fucking scanner, you could throw 1,000,000 cards in it, and it will just fucking scan them all right now. So then after that, we signed up for this bulk listing software, this automated software to like bulk list cards on the eBay. And I mean, I don't have the labor force. I don't have enough help in house right now to actually run that the way I want it to. But once we get like more quality help in here to like set that up, I'm gonna have somebody running consignment and somebody running the actual just listing, the building out of the inventory on an eBay store, like on the fixed price side of things. Just a little bit of time I've spent doing it, like maybe 2 days in the last month doing it for real. I've put up 60 cards at once on eBay. Like just it works through a spreadsheet. It's nuts.
Awesome.
And then it just like you can actually, and like I say, build it out because we got to categorize the store. But like you can set it up to like baseball singles, basketball singles, football singles, and then you go into this software and throw this shit together. Bloop, edit a spreadsheet, click it over there, a little click over there, bam, a little upload on eBay. It's like fucking Emerald Lagasse, dude. You're turning that shit up a notch, like right now. And now the only thing you have to do is figure out how you're going to accurately store this stuff so that you can pull it when it sells. You know what I mean? Like how are you going to actually store the inventory? So dude, there's some exciting shit I learned from that guy, and I had no idea. I wasn't even trying to do it. You know, like we'd already started consignment, and I wasn't even looking for this type of information. And I turned this eBay Open thing on, and there's the Burbank sports card guy fucking spitting facts.
Yeah.
and sharing knowledge, like not being a douchebag, not
100%.
not screaming buy this, buy that. Like he's telling a story. Like he said he started working, I believe, in that store before it was when he was a kid, and it wasn't Burbank sports cards. It was a coin, like a silver and gold store. If I'm mistaken, I apologize, because I really liked what the guy said, so I hope I'm not saying that wrong. But if it wasn't that store that it is now, then he did work at a silver and gold store, and he said he got the opportunity to buy it later on in life. So like he like worked there for a while and then got to buy the store and then turned it into like cards and everything that it is now. But he said he scaled up during the pandemic. I think he said one of the months, maybe March of 2020, he said was the biggest month they've ever had, like in terms of sales ever.
Yeah.
And he's like, It's like, we just figured out how to fucking ramp shit up. He's like, you got to ramp shit up. So we got the Fujitsu scanner, baby. Ramp that up. When we run that thing to capacity, we'll get a fucking another one. Get more people in there. You know what I mean? Just fucking, let's go. What's up?
He was my motivation for that discount slab box we run at the store. I see him with the on there posted cards, you know, $3, $5, $10, and they're, you look at them like, damn, these things are at 60-70% of comps, and it's just a good, you know, quick grab thing.
Well, you know what's true about that? Let me tell you something from consignment. I don't have them in here because we cleaned up today, but I had I made a short little 3-minute YouTube consignment video a month ago to just explain the process, and I had a handful of cards that we listed at auction for customers, and they didn't get a single bid.
Yeah.
And like, there was plenty of slabs, dude. Plenty of slabs because people don't want to pay the shipping. But sorry, especially on consignment, nothing ships for free. So
exactly,
you know, you have to pay the shipping. I'm sorry, we'll combine it for you. We're not trying to make money off the shipping, but you got to pay the shipping. We pay the supplies, and the thing that sucks and people don't realize is that when eBay takes their percentage from the sale, that includes that fee includes the shipping money you charge and the sales tax that you never see. So the actual percentage they pull is bigger than what they say it is because they're pulling it from a larger pool than you think they should be pulling it from. But their house, their rules. I fucking love the place. People bitch about returns and non-payments and all of that. We sold 90 cards for a client over the course of 4 days last week. 90 items, all of them but 2 sold for more than $10, and a few sold for like $1,000 plus. Like some really nice baseball cards in there as well, and only 1 card went unpaid for.
Yeah.
So it's like, once you set this thing in motion and you start filtering out the bad apples, because we had them. Like we did 2 months of in-house testing with a few local hand-picked clients. Like, hey, do you guys have stuff? Do you want to work with us while we build up this process? You know, they wanted to do it. We tested it out. We still didn't find all the challenges, you know, all the obstacles, but we figured them out. We're still figuring them out, but it's good. But the point I'm getting to is, or I already got to it, was that there's still slabs that won't even get a bid. And I mean, I had a first Bowman auto of some Blue Jays guy. Nope. PSA 9. Like, it wasn't even like a, you know, just people don't want it. But yeah, if you have those types of things in the store, you know, like you said, 3, 5, 7, whatever it is, people are going to buy that stuff. People are going to eat it up. So
if it's shitty, you know, hey, I remember this guy from my childhood. If it's a slab and like that, it goes, because people are afraid of, they look at slabs like it's always big money, especially the people like the kids and stuff in this. And sometimes this is like, hey, I acquired this from someone who, you know, went broke on whatnot, and he's trying to solve his shit now so his wife doesn't leave him. And you see those from time to time. And
you really love whatnot, don't you, John?
You could tell how what a fan I am of it. I have actually, I'll say there's like, I go on there from time to time now. Like, I've come around to at least accepting it. But there's only, if you play the gimmicks and shit, I'm out. I'm not here to.
You can say whatever you want, Holmes. I went on a 12-minute tirade about whatnot when someone asked me about it a while ago. And the funniest part about it was, whatnot literally not harassed me, but they're like, my issue with those big companies is they're so out of touch with themselves. Like, I was getting messages on Instagram once or twice a week from both of their whatnot and their whatnot sports account. I was getting messages on my Twitter, like, all the time about like, hey, you look like the perfect candidate to be a whatnot live seller. I'm like, hey, I'm already a whatnot approved live seller. Like, where were you when I was trying to go through this fucking process? So anyway, then I do the whatnot thing, and Pav was here for the show. Someone asked me about whatnot, and I did a 12-minute honest opinion. The good, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and what I thought they should do about it. Like, I didn't just sit here and complain. I told them exactly my thoughts, and it just so happened that very next day after that podcast, the whatnot fucking people messaged me again on Twitter. So I went to the YouTube episode and I cut it out. I like downloaded it through one of my editing software, clipped it out. I uploaded it. I uploaded it as unlisted. And the only people I sent the link to was to that message in Twitter. So aside from my one view of making sure it worked, that clip ended up getting 11 views. So 10 people at Whatnot watched that fucking video. And the guy I sent it to gave me a heart reaction. And nobody on that video on YouTube gave it a thumbs down or anything. So like I don't know what they thought of it, but I basically said I did 3 live streams. Each stream I did over $1,000 in sales. And of those 3 streams, I think only 2 people were not people I brought to the platform. So I'm like, why am I pimping for this platform just to give them 8%?
Right.
Like, I'm good. I have an audience. I was here before you. I'll be here after you. Like, what can you do for me? Because I figured out quickly what I was doing for them, and I didn't want to be a part of it.
I think there's
not with what they have. Like there's the way it's such a the way you work on there. I don't like it.
That's
like that.
It's
like panhandling type sales. I don't like.
It's like the late night fucking the old sports card guys, man. Like the old fucking
infomercials,
home show. Yeah,
the fucking
that meme I made. Remember the South Park with Stan's grandpa, the old jewelry. This was $6 million. I'll mark it down to 3,000.
Yeah,
it's the same bullshit in sports cards, and they're pimping, third-year jaw cards now because they got them in a CSG slab, and they want you to expect that they're worth money because they're just pandering on stupid people that don't have time to know what their card's worth without looking up eBay comps within 30 seconds.
Oh man, ain't that something? Comps, man. I could get going on comps, but basically running like an auction house, like comps are not real. Let's just put it. See, like
that's
that.
The one thing I take away from Whatnot though is if you merged Whatnot's instant payment to the sports card platform on eBay, you fix this hobby right then and there.
I agree 100%, and I think it should be implemented into auctions. If you win a bid, it should pull your money right away. No questions asked. And here's the reason. There's no reason they shouldn't, because on the seller's end, my fucking bank account is linked to eBay to even be able to sell on there. So they have 100% access to my funds. They can take money as they please. If someone, like, I had one negative feedback like 2 years ago over a $5 standard envelope card that I was willing to give the customer more than he was even losing out on if he would just let me work through eBay's process, because it was like right when they implemented it. Guy was an asshole. Long story short, but eBay took $5 right out of my fucking bank account, and I didn't care. Like, it's $5, but like, yeah, dude, they'll take it. So if they can just reach in and grab it, and you have to be linked to sell, that means you should have to be linked to buy. And 100%. If you're linked to buy, when you buy homes, guess what? Like, I'll block people.
Bid, guess what? He paid for it. Then you can figure out who's paying the fees on it.
I block most people just if they ask to retract a bid. Because how do you even accidentally bid? Like, some of them say, like, hey, I put an extra 0, or like they explain it and makes sense. But some people are like, I didn't mean to bid on this item.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean? You have
even
to,
the extra 0 is bullshit. It's somebody that's like, if it has a reserve, they get used to doing
Oh, sure. That. Yeah. They try to find the reserve without bid more than they want to.
Even on, like, sometimes they won't even notice that, like, your shit doesn't have a reserve, though. They're just so used to doing that kind of shit. I don't know. It's pretty fucked up.
But yeah, I'll block bid retractors. Obviously, we block any non-payment person. And then I love that feature where you can ban anyone who has 2 non-payments or more in the last 12 months. I get messages all the time like, hello, I'm sorry, but it seems to be that I am not able to bid on your items. Could you please allow me an exemption? Like, no. Why the fuck would I do that? Like, I have all good feedback. Yeah, because all the good people blocked you. So,
yeah.
So, like, nobody deals with you. Like, we're good. I'm good. Not happening. And I don't care. Like, I don't feel a single bit of, there's so, like, the market is so big. All of our data is huge. Like, it keeps going up. So, like, I feel like we're doing the right thing and blocking anything that feel like it's going to create a headache, and the headaches have gotten fewer and further between, and the like all it seems a lot of the non-payments are under $100, like they're like ticky tack, like Mickey Mouse say it, like they're not even real like big cards, so it's just like little Mickey Mouse bullshit that happens on there. It's not even like people are fucking not paying on $500 cards all day long if they have more than like 10 feedback. You can get those like 0 feedback people away from your you'll be good.
But that's the one good thing I take from Whatnots. It's like, you know what? Do that. I mean, the duck races, all that stupid shit. That's not me. And then these mystery packs of, oh, here's a $20 floor and $1,000 ceiling, and then they go and tell you this is a $400 card, and you can actually go check and say, hey, this is a $140 card, and you just hope your viewers are stupid. I couldn't sleep at night being that guy.
Yeah, right. Me either. I don't. That's the biggest reason I stopped doing repacks. I did the best repacks in my opinion of anybody I've ever seen do a repack, and I have no problem saying that because I didn't make money on them, and it was in the middle of the pandemic, and for the first, I would guarantee you every single repack I did could have been sold for profit. I could almost guarantee it. Some of that shit was so nasty, just absurd shit.
I know. I got that patch from you, the Griffey Ichiro.
There you go.
The only thing that hurts me is I sold that to move up to Jacksonville. But it paid for a U-Haul up here, so you know what? At the time, the ends justified the means.
Nope. Yep. I get it, dude. I get it. But yeah, I
hard to replace.
I love doing those things, but I had one guy. I did it was a CD Lamb sticker rookie auto, and CD Lamb doesn't sign good on the stickers.
Right.
So like the auto was off the sticker, and the dude's like, I can't recommend your product to anybody. And I'm like, listen, I didn't lie to you. And I believe on that repack, the floor was like $30 or $35. And that was like a $60 card. It wasn't even one of the bottom cards. And that's like, he's like, this card is like defective. Like, it's not defective. I didn't sign the sticker. I'm like, not everybody signs everything perfect. I'm like, I remember I was cutting the grass in my backyard, like trying not to just blow up because I didn't understand what this guy was saying. He's like, I can't recommend you repack. I'm disappointed that you would put this like trash card. I'm like, this is a good card. I'm like, CD Lamb's a good receiver. He's a rookie, you know, whatever. Yeah. Like, this is a pretty good card. And it wasn't a great card, but I thought it was a card that had potential to go up. Like I thought it was, you know. And he's like, but this card's no good. He's like, it's not worth anything. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I like showed him a few numbers. I'm like, what do you mean it's not worth anything? I'm like, look at the auto on this one. I'm like, this one auto's terrible. I'm like, look at this one. I'm like, the card you have, I'm like, is every bit of $60. He's like, yeah, but that's not the point. I'm like, no, that's exactly the point. Like, I'm like, if you're unhappy with this card, sell it and get your $60 and move on. Dude. Like, oh my, it was wild. But after that and a few other things, I did 114 pack repack. And after I did that, I'll never do one again.
Yeah, I do like the $9 repacks at the store. And it's literally just like one auto, one relic. So you kind of like throw some, like at my probably the biggest one, the first, is I had like a Mitch Haniger auto numbered to 10, stuff like that. And I mean, hey, you make 50 or 60 bucks on it if you bought a $8 or $9 pack. But you know, that was kind of more geared towards the kids, because the kids, or you get some of the adults that are just like getting back into it. That's cool. I mean, I did a second round of those, bought a whole bunch of, you know, $2 and $3 at a time relic cards, and a bunch of players that, you know, we thought were going to be good in Bowman and shit like that. And, you know, for little kids and stuff, it's cool because, hey, it's their first autograph. Or, man, look at this Vlad Jr. patch that all the snobby people in this hobby don't give a shit about, you know, because it's not a one of one.
That's me. That's me. No, I'm just kidding. If it's Vladdy Jr., I'm probably going to check it out.
We just tried too hard on those fucking repacks. When you think about like the repacks that everybody else puts
Ours
out,
were
it's so
fucking
much
bullet.
fucking trash,
dude. Ours were so good. There wasn't a bad name in any of them.
Everything's so bad. You open all these you open
people
a
you've
case
never
of
heard of,
repacks, and it's so bad. There's like one decent card.
There was never anybody in a single repack of mine that you had not heard of before. Guaranteed. Just fucking no way.
Just terrible.
There's no way. Mine were fantastic. Pav was even buying for me for a while. We were like, I was still working. I was still
jamming all sorts of shit.
I was still boilermaking at the time, so like I was still running my like 3 breaks a week and fucking working 12 hours a day and then coming home and working for more. And
Pav was trying hard to find good value.
I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, this is the type of shit we want. I like wrote out a list of names. I'm like, buy these players and nice stuff. So I'd go find like definitive patches and fucking dynasties. You go find the nastiest shit you could find for a reasonable price. Luminaries singles for under 100 of like Miguel Cabrera and shit like that. Like, that's the type of stuff I'm putting in a repack because a normal person isn't going to buy a fucking $300-$400 box of luminaries. You know what I mean? Not to get one card. So they can buy a spot in this fucking repack and bam, for $50, they hit this fucking $80 Miguel Cabrera, but it's luminaries and it's fucking ridiculous and it should be worth more than $80 period anyway. And now they get it. Boom. I did my job as a fucking person that's supposed to be doing this with the best interest of the hobby. That's why you're doing a repack, right? Or are you doing a repack because you went to a card show, you bought somebody's entire fucking table for 5 good cards, you sold the 5 good cards at a premium, and now you have this rest of the table full of shit that you don't know anything about because you're too busy going to the next card show and doing this and that, so you dump them off to some other guy, and then that guy got them for real cheap, so then he just marks it up. And I mean, I fucking know the repack game.
Yep.
I know.
I actually got cleaned out of cards, like my bigger cards, probably 3 months ago for someone who does repacks. He was visiting from out of state, and he just went on name power, and it was like one of those name your price things, and you could tell it's like, dude, I could have told you $500 for that card that you paid $200 for, and you probably wouldn't have said shit. And I mean, he actually, remember that red UK Luis Robert I hit from you? That came back in 9 with SGC. He bought it up, no questions asked. Like my Freddie Freeman patch auto, like he bought my Jeter, one of my Jeter SP rookies. Again, it was just name power.
Yeah.
And that's I'm gonna blow smoke up your ass on my repack, and look at this huge card. So
right. I remember one of the biggest cards I put in that repack was Vladdy Jr. Sapphire rookie, and I paid $1,300 for it to put it in the repack. And then when the guy sold it after he hit it out of the repack, and I only bought it a few months before I did the repack. After he hit it, he sold it for like $2,400 or something like that, and he was buying a new house, or something. So I forget what I charged for those. I just know I made 114 of them. I know they were over. I think they were either 100 or 125.
I think they're 125. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. So like for $125, dude hits fucking $2,000 Vladdy card. Yeah. But like the fact that I bought that card then at that price, it helped me even put better shit into the product. You know, all I did was cover my fucking, and I'm an idiot for doing it, but all I did was, because I wasn't a business guy. I was literally a fan of the hobby. I was working a fucking job and making 6 figures with benefits on top of it. Like, guys, I wasn't in this for the money, so I made a fucking product. If I wanted the best fucking product on earth, what would it be? This is what it is, but it's, you know, there's no money to be made doing it. So that's stupid. But at the same time, like I said, there was never a card you pulled and you went, who is this guy? Like, I've done so many other repacks where you pull a card of a guy and you're like, wait, what? Like, is this the most obscure guy you could find? Like, is that what the edition repack is? Like, obscure guys edition?
Mike Sosha PSA 9 rookie card.
Like, don't you worry, there's an in-person Wonder autograph somewhere in there that got a Beckett slab.
Fucking David Eckstein. Fucking logo man, you know what I mean? Come on, what are we doing? It's unbelievable. I'll never forget it. I hit a what was it? It was a fucking Lion Richardson's 101, but it wasn't even like, It was a first Bowman 101, but it wasn't even like a superfractor. It was like from a VIP party or something. So it wasn't even like a real card. It was like a manufactured event card. Like it wasn't a pack pulled card, I should say. I think that's the difference. But it's, I don't know, it's fucking nuts. Like, okay, repack Lyon Richardson. Like this card is like maybe $10, maybe, and that's if you have a fan of that person. I don't know, that guy could have been out of professional baseball. I don't fucking know, but it was like, holy cow, this is what, like, how is this? How do you put this in there, and how do you justify it? Like, you just say it's a rare card.
Yep.
Oh man,
you're the other one that's got this.
Breaking news. Timeout. Breaking news. 2022 Topps Chrome Logo Fractor Edition Shohei Ohtani Gold Parallel number to 50 just sold on consignment for $455. That's fucking nuts. That sold for more
crazy,
than the Leaf Trinity plate I pulled.
I seen that Judge was doing good.
The Judge went for 150, but it didn't do nothing at the end, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. I seen it was at like 150 with hours left.
Oh, maybe that
or something.
Judge just paid, confirmed, $152.49 for the gold Aaron Judge logo fractor for the logo fractor people. We're talking about hobby shit all episode. Jeez. So yeah, that was Brett Common Sully, Step in the Box on YouTube. Our news guy. He's been busy. He's told me we spoke a little bit last night. He told me how incredibly busy he is. He's a school teacher and everything they got going on to school systems and all his other personal life. That's why we're handling consignment for him. So he doesn't have time to deal with it. So we're here to help, and we're getting him exposure, baby. So if you're listening out there,
I passed up on Logo Fractor because I figured by the time I would have gotten it, it would have already been a obsolete product.
I only bought 10 from Topps because I wasn't sure. Dude. You could have bought 20, and then we found the plug. And Pav, I'm not even talking about it. No way.
I didn't know it. People show up in 6 weeks, and it's already going to be old news. Because when we first opened the store, I ordered back like extra regular Bowman hobby from them, and it took like 9 weeks to show up. Yeah. And then by the time I got it, I was in it for $344 a box, and it's selling for $280. So that's a good business move.
I was scared.
That was scared. Me in select football this year.
I was able to score 3 cases of Logo Fractor, but like one of them I promised to Brad and stuff.
Yeah.
So like
that guy.
But like when I was ordering them, I asked, what's the limit, and they're like, it's open. So like, I probably should have ordered fucking 10 cases.
We could talk about this afterwards, John.
But
I have no problem telling you. If people know, they know, but I'm not telling everybody. Sorry.
It was a bummer. I'll tell you what, Brett.
Because it makes no sense to me. It's going to get me going. It's going to get me and you going on a fucking tirade about acquiring wax. So we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later. But like, things changed. Like, it even went.
Yeah, well, I think when people got their hands on boxes and they realized, so it's like a mega box. It's got 2 Logo Fractor packs and 5 base packs. When people figured out that every fucking Logo Fractor pack has at least a parallel in it, most mega boxes don't even have a parallel in both mega packs.
Right.
You're getting 2 at minimum, and the base card set isn't the same as the Topps Chrome. It's not 220 cards, it's only 110. So now your odds of getting a good player parallel are just really fucking good. Better than any other product on the market. And if you got it at $50 a box from the retail price, you fucking stole it.
Yep.
Like, it's a steal of the year.
Yeah,
Brett,
the base,
our news guy, opened 2 cases on his YouTube channel.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ripped a case. We did like a 23 spotter. It was banging, dude. I put Brett counted it. Said we hit in 40 boxes. We hit 97 non-base. So autos, parallels, short prints. We pulled a J-Rod short print, Torkelson, and someone else. Another one of them. And then a bunch of autos, tons of color. 2 101s, a super fractor auto and a 101. The 101 non-autos are rose golds. And then the autos, they had like 24 auto people, I think, and I hit maybe the worst one. Unfortunately, shout out to Curvin Castro.
The value on those was really
no
great.
Disrespect.
When you think about like everything that was hitting that case,
just wanted to hit a trout, super fractal.
It's pretty fucking wild. But you know, the funny thing is, like when it was first coming out, Brad and Brett and I were all chatting about it. We were all like,
Brett passed.
you
I'm
know.
like, nope. And Brett's usually the one that like gets everything. Yeah. And he's not afraid to buy a bad product. I'm super conservative. You know what I mean? I need that money.
And then we saw like what it was doing and saw the product. When you saw the first couple cards come out, it's like, oh, this stuff actually looks pretty fucking nice. And then like it went crazy. Which, you know, that's something that we talked about. We haven't seen a product really go like that in over a year. It's been so fucking bad, you know, like March 2021, everything peaked out. And
well, the issue with wax, is the new game is the way these companies are rolling is it's fucking overprice it out of the gate and then just continue to discount until you've moved it all and it doesn't matter to you. And then the secondary seller like me, you know, the breaker is just getting fucking murdered. Like I've been red for 2-3 months now. I mean, we're climbing out of it. We're digging our way out of it, but it's been just absolutely fucking horrendous. I paid like $1,400 on average for a box of Select Football. I couldn't fucking sell it. I ripped it because I couldn't sell it just so I could sell what was inside the boxes. And just fucking nothing. I pulled a Zach Wilson to 35. It only sold for $105 fucking dollars. I mean, just nothing. Just a fucking prime example of complete fucking booty hole unwanted touching. I mean, just fucking terrible. I lost like probably 10 grand on that shit.
No, that's
just because I only bought it so that I hopefully could get more product. You know what I mean? That's the name of the game. And oh my gosh.
That's like probably the biggest misconception of owning a card store that we see so far, especially being 6 months into it, is people think I woke up one day, called Tops, said, "Yo, I need your stuff," and it magically shows up, and I'm here, you know, making a killing on it. And like most people that walk in that don't know, I'm working 6 days a week from a remote job back there. I'm paying the bills. That card store is not making money. That card store is trying to, you know, build in the community. And, you know, once I do get my little handouts from Tops and Panini and I can distribute it to them, maybe I can make some money. But until then, it's a struggle, and there's no free rides in this. All these people that come in, it's like, oh, I want to open a card store. It's like, yeah, it's a dream, but it's not a financially responsible dream. You better either have a lot of money hanging out, or you better have a backup plan. You put all your eggs in that basket, you're gonna be poor really quick.
Yeah. I mean, I was the first person when we were talking about it. I'm like, dude, now's not the best time to even think about opening a store. And you're like, nope, I'm doing it. I'm like, hey, if that's what you want to do, if you're, you know what I mean, I'm never gonna tell anybody don't do that. If you're that fucking sure about it, do it.
You know I could have kept that money in the savings account and had my boring, you know.
I was just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, hey, man, I don't know. I don't know if now's necessarily the best time with how the economy is and how the hobby landscape shifted. I'm like, maybe we'll let the dust settle. You're like, no, I'm doing it. Like, all right, cool.
I look at like this. I don't regret it. Like, I look at, damn, I'm in the red. I'm in the red a lot. But I know it's something that I can work on getting out of.
Sure.
You see there is some positive change in the hobby. You know, you see some of these people that are trying to move slabs that have already given up on the hobby because they got in.
They listened to some dumb fuck on YouTube, sent a bunch of shit off to get graded. It got held up at grading for a year. Then the bill came for grading, and their cards weren't worth fucking nothing. Yeah, 100%. I know the story. It sucks. I hate that story. I'm sorry to everyone that happened to that will no longer be in the hobby because of that. But those people that make that content are the people that get fucking showcased in the hobby. So that's another wonderful thing too.
That's a different story for a different night.
They don't have to answer for any of their bullshit.
But yeah, we saw a lot of the you know, the fly by night people who come in and try to justify to their wives how much money they spent on a break with the Miami Dolphins and how this Jalen Waddle card's worth $1,000, and because I spent $1,000 in a Prism break, and now I'm gonna tell you it's worth 140 on the last one that sold on eBay today, and if I want to make a profit on it, the most I'm gonna give you is 110, and your wife's gonna stand there like she's about to murder your ass, and I'm just like, take it or leave it, buddy.
Yeah, right.
So,
exactly, dude. Exactly. More logo fractor auction news. Bryce Harper orange. What do you think? Bryce Harper orange logo fractor.
280.
Way over.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, way over.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Orange.
Still a good amount of money though for just the orange. These logo fractors sell
115.
121. All fucking soothsayer Pav. What else do you know down there?
Hey, dude. You know what?
What?
Whether people want to admit it or not, dude, we're pretty good at fucking pricing cards.
We know our shit. But the thing is,
A little bit.
we don't make a lot of noise. We don't make professional video content, which I'm okay with. I don't want to make cringeworthy content. I'm making a real content.
What's that?
Huh? What'd you say, John?
I said you got to start dancing.
Oh yeah, I'm not dancing, dude. I'll dance with my hands. You know, we might do the Carlton, but that's about it. You know, we don't do those things. So if people want to get educated, they come here and watch a conversation among three adults that are actually doing it. Pav is not in the hobby as a business, but Pav owns a business. So he's definitely qualified to speak on financial matters, especially when we're talking about advice. We're sitting up here talking about flipping retail for no money, and I'm talking about being conservative. We're not screaming to go buy this and go buy that and do this and do that. Like, no, you fucking... There's times.
We already told him that.
And opportunities.
We told him that in 2018. We weren't doing a podcast then. If they would have listened to us back then, dude.
If we'd have had the podcast back then, we might actually... Someone might actually learn some things, yeah. But I remember there's got to be video of me doing it.
When it was $8 to fucking...
No. This is what I'm going to say. Let me say this. There's got to be video of me during a break when PSA went from $8 to $12 of me screaming at people to stop grading first Bowman paper base cards. There's got to be a fucking video. I'm like, you guys are fucking it up for everybody. Quit sending your bullshit cards.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you have that demographic that goes, well, we just enjoy our cards to no end, and we just want them secure forever. Yeah, that's fine. You are not the people we're bitching to. We're not you. We love you people. You keep sending your bullshit cards in because you're not, the percentage of you is so small that you're not the people that are just sending in fucking... I don't even have a terrible example. Elijah Tatis.
Series 2 base cards.
Elijah Tatis fucking not even in baseball anymore. First Bowman paper cards. I wonder how many are sitting at PSA right now.
Dude, how many are sitting in people's collections? Like, when we'd go to these shows and they'd have a fucking mountain of Juan Soto, PSA 10, fucking update paper, you know? And, like, they were hot, right, for a while.
Oh yeah,
but they're always overpriced at the shows. They're
Absolutely.
always fucking overpriced at the shows. And like, I sold all my Soto in March last year, and like, you know, all those guys that were holding then, it's they got to be sitting on so much fucking shit where they just ate it. I would like, that's the thing about those fucking guys, you know, there's just anybody that bought in as an investment in the last year.
Well, why do you think
you're eating it?
Eating it. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing right now. People can't hold forever, so that's why you're seeing things come down, because people are selling and they're selling at losses.
I can't believe the product is still so fucking high, though.
Well, that's the adjustment period.
Selling it. They keep selling.
That's the adjustment period, though. That's where the people that got rich already got rich. That's already gone, because that was when they were selling fucking $60 allocated Topps boxes or $60 Panini boxes for $1,000. That was when it got fucking wild. Dude, when I started in late 17, early 18, Luka Doncic rookie year it wasn't even in the beginning. I went almost a year before I tried to do basketball, and that was during Doncic's rookie year. I was getting cases of every product. I couldn't fucking sell them. I couldn't sell them at like damn near cost. I wasn't even trying to make a profit because, like I said, I was making 6 fucking figures, working 3,000 hours a week, killing myself in a steel mill. Like I was doing fine money wise. You get the it must be nice you got this card, this and that. Like fucking cards did not pay for my toy in my garage. Like cards didn't do that. Like I'm just I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years, but I'm just learning how to do it as a business now. So it's just crazy.
I'm still learning how to do it as a business. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know shit about business, but now we have to treat it that way. But before,
I can tell you a card store won't pay for my Challenger either. So
before we didn't need to, like we didn't even need to think about it. Now it's something you got to think about. But between everything and then all of these fucking these cards, like how many slabs are out there that are just worthless. And now you're starting to see the grading companies come down. Because at first it was everybody who was getting allocated wax was making a killing. Now that's kind of gone away. And now it's sort of settling back in because wax is outpriced the singles market because the singles market has come down so hard, excuse me for the burp there. But now wax has to follow, and you're starting to see it. But it's not there yet. Like Impeccable WWE comes out tomorrow. I'm super excited for it.
And I'm excited.
I'm gonna have a case, but mine's gonna be Thursday. But I'm super pumped. It looks really nice.
You're it for yourself.
I'm breaking it, dude. I can't afford to rip anything. Period. Like it's you know what I mean. Like we're not struggling, but there's no fun time. There's no.
I'm glad you told me you're getting it, because I'll hop in on that with you.
Yeah. I'll have a case. It just it was offered.
Cereal or don't know yet.
I think I'm doing cereal, but I'll know tomorrow because we've been so busy trying to get caught up from the weekend. Tomorrow I get the plan. Like my releases being late suck, but it helps me. So I get to price out Bowman Sterling, but Bowman Sterling's the flip side, dude. I think Bowman Sterling even allocated is insane. I think that was like the like biggest that, and I believe Bowman's best this year. All the Bowman shit got shot over the moon in terms of the distribution shit. So,
I didn't even get Sterling for the store. I don't want to invest into stuff like that right now because that's another one of those things where like people don't understand that, hey, if this product comes out and it's $400 as a store, if I pay $360, $370 for it, I'm happy. And I don't want to tie up that much money into a product and then hope it sells.
Right.
I'd rather put it into stuff that will sell.
And then what do you do after you sit on it for a month and it didn't sell, and now it's not worth as much?
Exactly. Then you're upside down on it, and you either decide, do I want to just rip this myself or take the loss on it? And that's kind of one of those things where it's like you got to know your market, and my market's not buying Sterling. Yeah, I have probably 1 or 2 guys that'll come in and buy a box like that, but if I got a case of that at 5% under cost, those Steel City prices or something, not happening.
Such a bummer because Best used to be so much fun, dude.
Best was the best. 100%. It was literally the best.
God.
Yes. I ripped 4 cases of Best on release day in 2018.
So
it was like
much.
One of my
so fun.
Biggest days ever. So fun. So my favorite days breaking. I ripped like 30 cases of Bowman's Best in 2018.
Great cards. The value on the Best was like so awesome back then.
Yep.
And then like the secondary market on fucking single autos was so fucking cheap. You could buy everything you wanted.
Everybody shit on it up until last year because it finally got to be like $400 a box. And then that whole stupid thing where Beckett decided they wanted to determine what a fucking rookie card is and not how we've been doing it forever now. I tried to get a dude from Blowout on the podcast to explain it because I did, we went in a circle on Twitter for like 2 hours where everything he would say to define a rule, I would just, and I wasn't doing it to be a dick, but this is just who I am. Like if you give me a statement, I'm going to point out the hole in that statement. Like, okay, if that's true, then what about this? Like I'm just a very logical thinker. And I will just fucking checkmate your ass. And that's what I did. And basically what we came to the agreement on Well, we didn't come to an agreement, but what ended up happening is the rules for the PA and the rules for the manufacturers or whatever to determine the eligibility rules for a rookie based on that Bowman's Best set. Neither set of rules applied. So the dude tried to say that as far as Wander Franco's card being a rookie in 21 best, that it was only the base card. All the parallels of the base card are not a rookie card because they're not a part of the base set. Like, it's the same fucking card, dude. It's just a parallel. I'm like, so you're telling me that every other rookie stamped card that's not a base card and is a parallel of that is not a rookie card? And I think he said yes. I'm like, oh boy. Like, all right, I see where we're going here. I can't talk to you. Have a good night. But I try to get him on the show because it was really interesting what we had going on. And I really wasn't trying to trash the guy.
I mean, I think that might make for a cool product 20 years from now. Of like, hey, remember this card? I think that set might carry that kind of weird value to it for that reason.
Yeah.
What God knows, get cheap enough now.
What else? Sorry, I'm just checking on the stuff that went live tonight. What else about like what else can you tell people about owning a card shop?
I mean, definitely biggest thing with that is it's not about profit. It's about fun. Because if I have fun, my wife has fun because she runs the store, day-to-day operations, and I just handle the money essentially. Everyone has fun. I do a lot of Pokemon there. I don't know the damn thing about Pokemon other than Snorlax because I can relate to that dude. So people come ask me Pokemon shit. I'm clueless. I'm just like, yeah, it's shiny. That's cool. I'm about it. But
yeah, right.
That's like the extent of my Pokemon knowledge. But then it's like it's $1 card. But I'm like, shit, that thing's nice. But definitely learning the market there and learning that what people on the internet tell you to collect isn't necessarily what to collect. The overwhelming response we've had on certain products that the hobby doesn't give a shit about is killer.
Like what?
Leaf lumber.
Man, that was a cool fucking product, dude.
Dude, I went through 2 cases of lumber at which MSRP at like $250 a box or something, which is kind of on the higher side for a non-licensed product. But people ate that up because you know what? That's not flip cards. That's PC cards. That's a holy shit. I have a piece of card.
Is that the same as leather and lumber? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No,
leaf lumber.
Yeah, leaf lumber actually does like a lot of Hall of Famers. Stuff like that. It was 4 cards a box, but every box in 2 cases had one just straight banger in it. Whether it was like a nice Nolan Ryan bad auto card, or like we saw 2 Tatis ones, saw like 2 Chipper Jones, like a George Brett dual auto, stuff like that. Saw like 2 1-of-1 Manny Ramirez bat knob, shit like that. But people really, really enjoyed knowing that there's products out there that are tailored to them. Of hey, you know what? I spent $240 on this, and I didn't just flush that money down the toilet. But getting people to listen to that is hard.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, like we use SGC as our grading company, and we send out every Monday. So every Saturday, Alyssa goes in and she does the grading for everyone. But when we open that store, the resistance of the PSA snubs that came in there of don't you have any PSA slabs because I opened with my SGC collection. Granted, they weed themselves out pretty quick because their market's not my market, but we send usually between 50 and 120 cards a week out to SGC from customers now. And we don't make a penny on it. It's not a part of our business. It's part of return business. It's knowing that at some point in the week you're coming to drop off your cards, and maybe archives just came out and you're going to grab a box. And then 2 weeks later, your cards are going to come back, and guess what? Whatever the new football release is out came out, and maybe you'll grab a box of it. Getting people to keep coming in the door is
got to get them coming and going, John. You got to get them coming and going. You got to make a buck on just a buck a card. You got to make something.
Well,
it's time. Time is money. Dude, you can't do it all for free. All that shit. Blah 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 blah.
I look at it like this.
I know, dude. You're too nice of a guy. That's why I wanted you on here.
Brad, is you want to start grading again?
No, absolutely not. I won't even do it.
It's definitely something I'm glad that, if I did that shit by myself, it wouldn't happen.
I won't do it.
Alyssa's a saint for that. She's got it down now. She does it every week.
It's better, though. I guarantee it would be better to do it with the people in person, though. There's, times where I'm doing paperwork and some guy sent me some obscure-ass card and, didn't tell me what it even is.
Oh, yeah.
And then you spend 5-10 minutes trying to look it up. And, that's not a big deal. But when you got fucking 200 cards, it's a huge deal. That's a huge deal now. And now I'm irritated. Nope, not for me. I'll do consignment. I love doing consignment. I'm helping people out. I'm helping people with my exposure and my fucking audience. I'm helping them get as much money as they can for the current market. Period. I'm helping them.
I do consignment, which is kind of a different take on it too.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I do in-store consignment now.
Yeah, no, that's if I had a store, I would have 100% have at least one showcase.
And I actually put 2 of the.
It's a reason to get more traffic, just like what you're saying with the grading. That's a reason for people to come into your store. Let me check my case.
It's shit I don't have, especially if it's because Yu-Gi-Oh and shit. I don't want that. It's not a knock against Yu-Gi-Oh fans. I don't know anything about it. It's I don't know soccer. So for me to be well versed in it, it's not happening. But if somebody else has it and wants to sell it and they know what that card's worth, so be it. The more selection, the merrier. And if you don't have to pay eBay fees on it, hell, that's even better.
Right.
So I'll take my 10% and, you get your money and everyone's happy. And be able, kind of doing things a little bit differently is what sets us apart.
Hell yeah.
So that's cool. It's definitely, that's why, I talk about, hey man, we ain't making money, but I don't regret it. That's why. It's you see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You see people that come in every week that, come in, drop a little bit every time. And they come every week and they'll spend a little bit, but that piece adds up. And that was kind of what I took away from Firestones and shit like that is, I think it was you could shave a sheep 100 times, you could only skin it once. It was that kind of mentality.
You gotta let that shit grow back.
Exactly. But if you fuck him the first time, you never see him again. And trying to explain that to some of these shops now is, and if I got to sell it,
that makes sense to me too, because I feel if I don't feel good about what I'm selling, I don't want to sell it. I like one of the sales reps I have now because he said whether or not he means it, he says those same things. He's like, I don't want to give you something that you're gonna struggle with or that you don't want. He's like, and there's a time and place hey, you do have to sell some stuff you don't want to sell, but at the same time, don't take too much extra shit just trying to get more, because if you can't sell it, it's probably not going to help. It's probably not going to make so big of an impact that it's worth your time to struggle with it.
Yep.
But I don't want to do that to my people either. I don't want to buy something and then be like, hey,
you need to buy it. I had to buy it.
Yeah, right. Fuck that.
I have a few things. I have 2019 Contenders fat packs on my shelf. I've got 2018 Rookies and Stars fat packs sitting on my shelf. They're both dog shit. And that was you need to take these to build allocations and blah, blah, blah. So I'll give you better stuff. And then they ghost you afterwards. It's no, you just want to pawn your garbage off on me is what it was.
Yeah, so they can make a couple dollars, say they sold it.
Yeah, this shit's been sitting here for 4 years, and you're gonna charge $40 a pack for Rookies and Stars football, and if you hit a Josh Allen card in there, it's worth $11.
Nice.
What kind of fucking business sense is that? Come on.
It's fantastic, bro. For them. Because they got you, Holmes. They got you.
Yep.
My good man. Been had. Anything else, dude? Anything else you want to talk about as far as the shop?
I mean, we are one of the few shops that does a lot with like charity and stuff. That's something I take great pride in. My like my background, my mom owned a private school. My dad was the treasurer for the Little League, stuff like that. So always was kid oriented growing up. And like I tried to keep that same vibe going with opening my own business and when I ran a Firestone before coming into this. So like the day before we opened the store, we took him to the Marlins Mariners game, got to see J-Rod hit his first home run.
Yeah, buddy. I seen it. Well, that was with the Boys and Girls Club, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Boys and
Fucking
Girls Club.
badass, dude. See, now that's something that all those kids, they'll remember for a lifetime, right? That, especially like if J-Rod continues on the path he's on,
exactly,
and becomes like a household name, and like,
we went
to that game.
Do those kids get to go to that game without the Garrigs? No.
No. A lot of them don't leave the town they're in, which is why it's cool. Like J-Rod's out there throwing balls to the kids between innings, and they're all diving for baseballs that don't mean a damn thing to them, and these kids are taking home lifetime memories. And for the most part, everyone except for the Tampa Bay Rays treats us really well. I'll expand a minute. I can't. It's bullshit, but
that's unfortunate.
Gladly throw them under the bus on a podcast.
Oh man. Amen.
I have a wonderful contact with the Marlins. She will message me every time they have something going on. Hey, I want to give you first opportunity. You want to do something with the kids, like that. So, like, we took him to the Braves Marlins game, right, and we were sitting right in front of Acuna when he tore his ACL.
Yes, I saw those pictures.
Yep, dude, that was like Alyssa started crying because it was as soon as it happened, you knew it happened. That was brutal to watch. But we took him to that. We took him to Week 17 when the Colts lost to the Jaguars somehow and knocked themselves out of the playoffs. We got to do that. We took him to Daytona a couple times. We're taking him to Homestead this Sunday, taking a whole bus full to the NASCAR race Sunday. And it's cool because like the stuff that doesn't mean a lot to terms of the card world means a ton to them.
Sure.
Like we go to a baseball game, we do baseball cards. So hey, you know what? I'll get a 300 count box and we'll load it up with, a combination of 80s, 90s, 2000s, all the way up to modern cards, a little bit of everything. They love chrome cards.
Sure.
They love relics. They love autographs. So, you'll put 4 or 5 hits in there, a couple numbered cards, whatever, and you'll make 50 of them. And you know what? I purged out a whole bunch of my stuff that is just sitting there anyhow. And these kids are sitting on a bus trading it with each other. And, it's the coolest shit ever to them. And to you and I, it's whatever, But the Marlins treat us wonderfully. NASCAR treats us wonderfully. Because my same representative for Daytona is also our representative with Homestead. So he's like as much as you want kind of thing. They give you like child prices on all of it, free bus parking. They hook you up. That's
awesome.
It's legit, dude.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of funny. I reached out to our hopefully future Panini rep when this once we finalized plans with Homestead, and I said, hey, I've got 51 or 53 tickets to the Homestead race. I don't have a lot of NASCAR cards in my shop. I collect NASCAR. I'm one of the few people that does.
I know you do, right?
There's not a lot of there's not a lot of resale in it, so a lot of people don't buy it. I'll buy a case and open half of it myself. I don't care, but it's fun. It's cheap, good hits. It's whatever. But I have enough to split 50 ways, So I got a really nice letter thanking me for what I do for the kids, and they sent us 47 pounds worth of backpacks and sunglasses and fidget spinners and basketball cards and NASCAR cards and stuff, and we got to hook up the kids on this. It's like we got that, and then we're adding Pokemon cards. We added more NASCAR cards to it. Obviously, threw some supplies in there for them. We'll throw snacks in there like that, and these kids are going to be decked out for for the race on Sunday, and it's kids that never leave their hometown generally, because the Boys and Girls Club I volunteer for is actually like full on inner city,
Right.
and they're the ones that are the most grateful for the
Sure.
life experiences that you and I take for granted.
Yep. No, 100%. I wasn't gonna, you know what I mean. I wasn't gonna take it to that level, but I've seen the pictures. You know what I mean. I know what's going on. You know.
Oh,
I
dude, that's
love it.
like I take pride in that
I
because
love
it's
it.
so cool that with Firestone, that's where it kind of started with like a anger with me was they go in there with they'd cut Boys and Girls Club a $3 million check every year. They'd have Evander Holyfield as their spokesman and shit like that. But boots on the ground, they weren't doing shit for them.
Right.
They're putting this stuff into a high interest savings account. They're making money on this donation money all year long, and they think we're dumb. And I was like, and I called out my boss. I'm like, why does nobody walk the talk on this? Literally, you don't have a single guy who's out there saying, you know what, I'm going to help the Boys and Girls Club. I'm going to do shit for anything. It's just all, money, money, money. So I stepped up and, they started putting me in their little garbage newspapers and stuff for the company. And, I'd get the kudos from corporate and nobody else did anything. And so when we moved to North Florida and opened the store, I wasn't going to just leave my club. That's, they're my OGs. So we stuck with them and, we're still taking them on field trips and they still, they love it. And that's kind of what makes it worth doing it, and that way when you do inherit a whole bunch of weird shit from customers, it's like, you know what? I might not sell it, but if it doesn't sell, it'll go to the kids. And I'm not even saying, I'm not handling my garbage or anything, but you can only have so much Series 1 flagship in your store before, I have so many goddamn Joe Adele cards in my life right now.
You need more. You need more, bro. I have I think 10 Series 1 hobby boxes out there from 21. And I took them from a guy on consignment. And I said, listen, dude. I said, I don't know. And they had stickers on them. I said, did you pay this for them? He said, yeah. I said, I just started fucking laughing, dude. I'm not going to say what the guy paid for them. I said, what do you want me to do with these things? He's like, do you want to break them? I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to break them. He goes, you want to sell them? I'm like, I can sell them. I said, you're getting nowhere near this number, though. He's like, oh. I'm like, or we can, like, put them away for 20 years and pray, but that's probably not going to work either. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm like, you're just going to have to take a L on this one, bud. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this other guy was ripping them off, sending cards with SGC, and it's not an SGC thing. I'm not knocking them. But he said he was charging them $30 a card. I don't know what it was. This was, probably pandemic times.
At the time it was.
And I don't know anything about SGC at all. But I mean, he gives me shoe boxes and shoe boxes and shoe boxes full of SGC slabs, dude. He spent $30 on these cards and they don't even sell for $10.
Yep.
It's like, oh my gosh, dude! Like, this guy just fucked you because you trusted this guy who owns a card shop in my area, who's just a gigantic piece of shit, and trust this guy to handle his valuable cards and get them graded for him so he can maximize his profits and things like that. But the cards he was sending in to get graded were just the dumbest fucking cards. There were those first Bowman paper cards and just, or like like I saw some base veteran cards. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck are you at $30 a card? Like, and not only that, like SGC still has to fight and I'm not knocking them, but they still have to fight the uphill battle on the value anyway. You have to try and justify the price you want for one of their cards, excuse me. So yeah, $30 a pop you got had just on that number alone, and now like the card you sent in wasn't even a $30 card to begin with. Like, what is it? Oh, dude, man. I'm like apologizing to the guy.
That hurts. Like, you have to. Yeah, that's part of having a store is being able to accept that loss too. Like sometimes I'd send cards off myself just to kind of have product. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
a little bit light on basketball or something like that, and you don't want to go and pick up on eBay or whoever, and then have people show you comps on the card that you just bought off of eBay and tell you that's worth this. I'm like, I know because I got a deal on it,
Right.
and you'll just kind of set it in yourself. You'll see like Shaq rookie cards sell for $13. And it's just like, shit, dude, it costs me more to grade than the card's worth if it doesn't 10.
Right.
And, having to figure out when is, if that card's not at least a 9.5, is it even worth it? That's definitely part of it that, you lose a lot more than you win there if you're dealing in low-end cards.
Yeah, so. It's tough, no doubt. No doubt about it. Pav, what are you doing down there? You all right?
The Phillies won.
Yeah, they did. They
did nothing.
Phillies won. Pav, you got anything to say tonight, bud?
Dude, one hit. Zach Wheeler fucking dealing, dude.
Yeah.
Wheeling
and dealing. 8
strikeouts, 1 walk. It's pretty fucking interesting. Like on the card dealership, I don't have much to add on that stuff. They fucking Brad knows. Everybody just calls me Flipper Pav. I'm flipping everything. But so like, for that reason, I will say this. For that reason, I haven't bought anything in fucking ages. Just because the market's been so fucking bad across the board. It's been really tough on that stuff. So I gotta give it to you guys for that, because I know that that's a reality for you guys. It's pretty fucking tough having to flip product as your fucking business,
I mean, you fucking get to have fun during the good times, and what sucks for me is like I got to experience the whole fucking boom as a business owner, but I was just too late, dude. I never got allocated any of the elite products. So I never if I would have gotten just one case of like all Treasure Sports and if I could have just made enough to like actually go not be week to week, like holy shit,
it's real nice for somebody like Bob, right?
And I started my business in 2017 and I was late getting in. But the other thing that hurt me was I didn't treat it like a business. I treated it like a fucking hobby. So like I wasn't trying to do 100 cases a week. Like I was still grinding. I was working 100 hours a week in a steel mill and doing 3 cases a week and coming home and sorting and shipping. Like I'd break a case, and then I'd sort it and pack it. And then the next night I'd ship it. And then I'd break a case. And I'd sort it and pack it. And the next night I'd ship it. And I'd sleep like 3 hours a night. Until I was like, okay, I'm going full time. And then I go full time and my business just doubles. Sales double. And I don't get any more product. And then the next year, my sales go up another $300,000. And now I'm getting less product. Like, how the fuck did this? How did I get to where I'm at right now? Like, how did this happen? I thought I was jumping in and things were supposed to be doing good, and they're not. So it fucking sucks, man. And now you got to ride it out. You got to ride out this shit. So just dig in. You gotta like what you're doing. You gotta love what you're doing. You know what I mean? People are saying all the breakers are gonna go away because they just fucking sit at home in their basement and blah, 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 whatever they want to say. That's fine. But I've been doing this for a long time. I started doing it before it was popular. I started doing it before the fucking guy that was running his mouth about a guy sitting in his basement was even in the hobby.
I think that's totally wrong anyway, because we know that a huge reason that the fucking hobby exploded like it did was because of breakers.
Sure.
I mean, once that market opened up, when people were all of a sudden like, wait, I can get access to hobby boxes, an entire case, right? I have access to an entire case being opened, and I only have to buy a share of it. And that share can be the team that I like. Okay, this is really nice for me, right? So
that's only applicable to collectors, though. You know what I mean? Then what happened was they got hooked on that, and then it turned into, okay, now the wax is so much money that collectors can't buy their teams. Now you have to spend $600 and pray to God you hit a fucking Luis Robert rookie autograph, or you're gonna lose $600. Thanks for playing.
I really think that we have to see where Fanatics goes, right? What their grand scheme is. But you would have to think that for them, when they talk about cutting out distributors, that would be the line that you'd want to take as that business. If you're the ones actually manufacturing the cards and putting that out, you don't want that middle guy making the money, because he's not the one that's selling the product to the end user.
Well, here's the problem.
Right? You need that connection from
let's just
hair to hair.
I'm sticking a fork in that shit right there, because here's the thing. That whole distribution chain, and the problem with the whole distribution chain is only a problem now that the fucking wax has turned into this extremely profitable thing. Whereas when I started, I was able to get every single product I wanted. And that was less than 5 years ago. I got every single product. I got everything. Every fucking thing. I didn't get unlimited amounts of it, except for like Flagship was all unlimited. It was literally unlimited. You could have as much as you wanted. There was a certain few handful, like Archives Baseball. I did a ton of that shit. Bowman's Best was basically at will. I mean, there was a lot of products that, like, even on the pre-order side of it, they told you, like, don't ask for more than you can take, because like you're gonna get it, and then you could get it again next week too. You know, you could keep getting it, and then in just a short amount of time, now, you know, distribution gets to fucking just take people out back. And I mean, GTS is getting cut out, and I've heard from other places and things of that nature. I'm gonna use the sports card radio dude's fucking term, my sources. You know what I mean? Because did Panini get bought yet? Where's that fucking guy there with that one? And his sources told him no. So I mean, it could be true, but I don't know. Sources ain't shit. But my sources, so I'm gonna use the same fucking thing here and say my sources told me that all these people that are losing their GTS accounts don't have a lot of accounts with other companies. They're bagging their way into these companies because they've been hacked out from GTS. And then the other thing I heard from some other people, from my sources, and I've heard this straight from people in the industry, so I'll say it. They try to get with these other companies, and they say, hey, I buy, 50 cases of Bowman. I buy 50 cases of Bowman Chrome. I buy 50 cases of Bowman Draft. And that's it. What can you do for me? Like, I don't buy nothing else. But apparently, and this was, I didn't ask this, you know what I mean? Like, this information came to me. So apparently, to my understanding, my reading between the lines on what I was told, and this is just me reading between the lines, is that there really are these, and I'm not naive enough to think there weren't sweetheart deals and the fucking backdoor, not those people, but like backdoor deals, not the fucking losers on the internet. That there were really, even with all the massive unlimited demand and new businesses starting up, that there was really still these fucking good old boy fucking people that are buying 50 cases of the 3 greatest baseball releases each year at allocated pricing and not having to buy anything else. And then I heard those types of people would sell 100 cases and rip 50 for themselves. And like, those are the people that, like, how the fuck, who are they? Who are those people that have ties to GTS like that are, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they got cut. That's why Fanatics cut them out. Because of bullshit like that. Like, you got to figure out how to reset that. You know what I mean? How can you just get the 3 best products? Well, I'm over here fucking ripping 15 cases of Don Russ baseball because I have to take it.
Yeah, I actually,
that's my issue.
Got GTS, and they said that we're not taking new accounts.
They weren't, and I'm sorry. Hang on. I messed something up here. What did I do? No, there we go. The Diego told me that before. Yeah, he asked me a years ago when I first met him. He said that they asked for like video footage of his breaking and that they wouldn't accept his Twitch footage. Like, what does it matter what platform you break on?
I had to send them entire pictures inside, outside of the store. Like I had reached out to them before we opened the store, and I got absolutely not. And then I just kind of went back to that well because like I got accepted by Southern, and Southern is terrible.
Southern has never let me do anything ever, and I've tried the entire time I've been. Southern won't talk to me.
Don't waste your time, buddy.
I'm gonna continue to waste my time.
Yeah, don't. If you remember the stories about pricing on Leaf Trinity, stuff like that with them.
Yeah, right. I remember
all that up, and then that just ignores me. And he's been out on paternity leave, my rep, for the last 3 months, and I haven't got a single email or anything from him. You'd think, man, as a salesman, you'd kind of want to send me solicitations.
They don't have to sell, dude. The sales reps don't have to sell. I remember when I first started getting accounts with distributors, I used to tell these dudes, because I didn't know shit about the business, I used to be like, hey, sell me something. And they'd be like, what do you mean? Like, fucking sell me a product. Tell me about it. Fucking do your job, basically, is what I told the guy. And then I found out that my first sales rep with the first company I started working with wasn't even a sales rep. He was in their finance department, and I was just like an overflow guy he got. So instantly, I no longer want to deal with him. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, he told me too much inadvertently. Like, I wasn't asking him direct questions, but I just talked to people, and he told me that he worked in the finance department and that he was a salaried employee. Like, so you have absolutely no incentive to do anything to help me out. Like, I get it. I'm just a burden to you because you're a salary guy that just had me dumped onto you, and I don't even know what I'm doing, but I know this much. I'm like, next, who else you got over there? Like, you're gonna have to give me somebody else. Oh man, so it sucks, man. It just fucking sucks. I hate to be negative about it.
No, I feel that, but that's kind of why I've taken a different approach. Is I want the people who are good for the hobby and the products that are good for the hobby.
I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. I'm hoping it's just going to be like a maybe just like a reset on like the whole system. And then like, hey, nobody can like, my issue was I never even wanted 50 products anything to begin with. I just wanted like maybe like 4 or 5 of each release.
Right. That's
just so I have enough for my customers. So I can
one case of every product, and I'll shut up. I'm the brick and mortar that you're telling me you want, and then you're telling me I'm not good enough. You gotta, I think you could trim one case of each product from GTS or Leighton or whoever you're denying that you're giving product to. I call bullshit on that whole thing. I think they just don't want the bad publicity when these people do something stupid.
I don't know. I want to see how it shakes out though. If one of these companies that's dealing with GTS, like I want to see how it's going to change, because if one of these like real big companies that's getting like special,
they just disappear overnight.
Disappear, just yeah. If you just stop hearing about them, I wonder who they are, because I really don't even pay attention to who the biggest ones are anyway.
Yeah,
I just generally don't care. I have my own group of people to serve in the hobby, and try and have fun. I mean, that's the name of the game. Have fun. Pav's had no fun tonight. Absolutely none. And I'm tired. It's late. Anybody else have anything they want to say?
I still expect the Padres to be knocked out of the playoffs.
All right. Well, we've proven him wrong time and time again, so he's just gonna have to go away now. But folks, that's it, man. I just want to thank you, John, for coming on the show. I wanted you to get
bored, so
talk about your fucking shop. So
I don't give a shit.
Hell yeah. But you know what I mean? You got to tell the people all about your store. John, I have all your social links in the descriptions on the audio platforms and the YouTube. So make sure you go follow John at Luckiest Sportscards, and then John, tell them everything they need to know.
I mean, he's got most of it down there. We're in Orange Park, just outside Jacksonville. So if you're ever swinging through North Florida, feel free to swing by, hang out with us. Like I said, kind of do it a little bit differently than most of the other stores. I have the dollar boxes and the shit you go through. I'm not one of the fancy come in, buy your shit, leave kind of people. I am bored if you don't hang out with me. So let's have a good time and rip some cards. And you'll see a lot of products in my store that you might not see at other stores. Brian over at Leaf treats us really well. Bang for your buck on stuff like that's really good. My customers don't leave my shop pissed off that they just got ripped off. And I think people like him are doing what's right for the hobby. And I want to kind of move forward with people like him and products like that. And not so much with $1,600, $1,700 hobby boxes. So a little bit different. You can take your kids there and you could not feel like you got taken advantage of, whether it's me, Panini, whoever. But, we're here to hang out. We're closed Sundays, though, for now. And that's NASCAR day. So
you hear that? You can go any day but Sunday. It's the Lord's Day of 8-cylinder motors. Are they still 8-cylinder motors, John?
They're still 8 cylinders.
All right.
Except for her driver wrecked my driver this week, so it's kind of a little bit on shaky terms there with all the rednecks being really upset about black man wrecked the white guy. So I've been trolling real hard on the internet forums this past couple days.
Oh, John, what are we gonna do with you? What are we gonna do with you? Trolling.
Can't take me anywhere, bro.
You gotta be careful out there, man. People don't understand the trolling, like, oh, you can't play like that. But anyway, that's a story for another time. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Underground Runaround. I'm your host, Brad Ross, back, we were here again with my co-host, Pav Danny, and Johnny Garrick of Luckiest, man, Sportscards. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.